Bonjour. Hello. Done a thing. Sure, everyone's already seen the all over the internet with the fibre lasers, welders, 3-in-1, 4-in-1, fibre laser cleaner, jobber, welders, cutters, blah, you know, fucking welders. I went and bought myself one of those laser welding systems, purely for stainless steel and aluminium. I do have other welding apparatus, but if you've seen the videos, you'll have seen the speed and the appearance, you know, the actual, you'll have seen the speed and the appearance of those welds, how strong they are, and how rapidly you get through the weld. So, yep. So, if you're like me, you'll have seen it all over YouTube and Face Talk and Tickle Tattle and all that stuff. And obviously for specialist welding, thin sheet metal, aluminium, I don't think there's much need to resist the way that the industry's going with that kind of thing. Obviously you wouldn't, well, I say you wouldn't use it for anything structural or anything that needs any obvious coding or anything like that, but for light fabrication and normal fabrication, I don't think you can go far wrong. I've had a little play with it already, and it's pretty wild, to be fair. This is a sample machine, which is, you know, just a generic. This one's 1500 watt, so it's just a generic one to test the market. There's definitely a lot of things you can upgrade and modify on them, because some of the stuff that comes with it is obviously cheapest common denominator. The case in point, you get a welding hood, a welding mask with it, obviously laser mask because it's a different a different wavelength to normal welding, but you know, yeah, air-fed masks and stuff, and it's shit. It actually hurts your eyes when you're looking at it. And the other thing is, when you put your head in, I mean, my nose isn't massive, but your nose rubs up on the screen. It does your head in. Plus it falls down, it's either too tight or too loose. Anyway, I'm blathering. No one cares, right? Yeah, so it's a 1500 watt, 4-in-1 laser machine, so it will weld, it will laser clean, continuous laser clean. It will cut, I haven't tried that yet, and it will weld seam clean. I haven't tried that yet either, and I'll show you why. Just as an example of the laser cleaning, that is a horrendous 45-plus-year-old Volkswagen T2 hubcap, and you can see the really heavy corrosion. And and that was literally 2 seconds with it. Granted, it doesn't look great, does it? Because you get all of the laser beams, the freaking lasers. But for removal of corrosion, Jesus Christ, I was surprised. There is a learning curve, and these were some of the first welds yesterday. As you can see, I've been messing around with the settings to get it dialed in to where I wanted it. There's a couple of different modes, so you can see there. Oh, this is stainless steel, 1mm stainless steel, using their supplies 1.2mm raw wire, which does the job. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. We have a couple of different welding modes as well. They're continuous and an S shape, and they look pretty good. Penetration is there. To 3mm stainless onto the 1mm plate. Focus. That's kind of right in there. Sorry, the chiller's just kicked in. Some of the settings do need tweaking as you go through, but I mean, you get that with everything. Tested on the stainless. Had to adjust some settings because the parameters for that stainless were too low. Sorry, the wire speed was too high and I didn't like the way the small welds were coming out. So adjusted speeds in some bits and pieces. Did also try it on some aluminium, aluminum. I only have 0.8mm wire, so that's why it's a bit kind of undercut, overcut, undercut, cut. I also found it got really hot. Obviously the aluminium sucks in a lot more heat than the steel. But and especially, you know, with the aluminium, you're kind of used to seeing a lot more weld on there. You know, not really apples and apples, but that's a big bunch of alley. So yeah, I mean, just for completely unprepped, random bits of scrap alley, obviously you would tweak the settings and you would get a thicker wire, you know, 1.4 maybe, 1.2, 1.4, just to get the material in there so it doesn't cut away at the parent metal. So I've got some of that on order. The other thing I tried, because why not? This is a Subaru water manifold, cooler manifold, whatever you want to call it. Subaru. I cut the end off in a chop saw, as you can see. Cut. Unprepped it, no bevel, nothing. Just to see if it would do it. And as far as a cast repair goes, that's actually not too bad. Like I say, with a thicker wire and a bit of a tweak on the parameters, you would be fairly happy with that. I mean, that was the first bit of aluminium, so it's pretty wild. It's not just for, you know, it's not just for pretty little bits of thin sheet metal. I think you can actually get away with quite a lot. The capabilities are definitely there. So, should we have a little look at it? Two different types of gun, you see, with the metal one and the plastic one. I think they both basically do the same thing. You do have here is your focal length, essentially. So there's a scale there, as you can see, 0 to -10, 0 to +10. And what all you do is you zap the laser and you try to get it where you get the most snap, crackle and pop for your money, and then obviously tighten that lock ring down. That kind of sets your focal length. It does adjust with different size nozzles and things, so I think you do have to do it as you're going along. Obviously if you change a nozzle to a big outside corner one, you probably want to reset your focal length. It only takes a second, it's not a drama. The wire feeder, you do have to take this apart when you put a new wire in with a different nozzle. Obviously you send your wire up like you would with a MIG, and then you kind of rebuild that around it. And there's a small Allen head there just to tighten it all up. Focus, you fuck. There's a small Allen head there to focus it all, to get it all tightened up. And obviously you kind of focus. And obviously you kind of want your wire coming straight out into the receptacle groove just there, and then that shoots it off. And that's the very first one again today. The end, the start and the end, there's obviously a trick to that which I haven't quite got yet. And you can see in the head, in the gun, back there's the motor, and that's what puts the oscillation in, the wobble. And you can see that at the end there, when I haven't quite managed to get it to separate at the back. But I think it's just a technique thing, and obviously I've only tried it for like 5-10 minutes, so yeah. What else is it to mention? Runs on argon and nitrogen. I've got argon, so it's on full 100% argon. I've only used it on stainless and aluminium at the moment. Just as another example, that's the kind of thing that I bought it for, really. What you've got there is, that's my very first pipe tube weld. That's 316 stainless 2.5 milli wall hydraulic tube, and that has done a cracking job of chucking that on there, so we're not going to complain too much about that. Somebody might hear us. Yep, so that's basic, that's your wire feeder. It will take a full-size roll. I don't know if it'll take the weight, so this is some other 1 mil stainless wire that I had already kicking around, which is a higher quality than the one supplied with the machine. So this is obviously a big, 15 kilo spool. So physically it'll fit. I don't know if it would take the weight of a full roll, so you need to be a bit careful. I think a 5, 6, 7 kilo roll is where you want to be, to be honest with this one. So we've got 2 roller drives, same as anything really. These are set up to run. Let me show you. So the drive rollers got double grooves, so you can have a 1.6, 1.2, and I think there's a 0.8 and a 1 mil, so 8, 1, a 1.2 and a 1.6. Focus. And that just unscrews in there, and away you go. Obviously feed it through, down your chute, and away you go. There's a decent length cable there as well, probably 5 or 6 meters, so you can bring that with you, obviously, where you want to go. And that is your basic screen. So if I was going to go and do parameters, stainless steel, carbon steel, alley, in your various thicknesses. We've got like a 1 mil, so I'll just leave it at that. You press OK, and it'll give you peak power of 28% of the laser, because it's only little stuff. P2M ratio, your frequency, blah blah blah. Scan frequency, your weld width, which can go up to about 5, I think. If we went to 3, give a decent sized bead. Your wire speed, which I found you do need to tweak a little bit. Pre and post gas, just leave it. And you have to turn it on to activate it. Okay, another plate. Same again, stainless steel, 0.8 approximately, 5/16, whatever that is in bananas. That's around 6.5 inches ish. For the real world, that's about 165 mil. What we'll do is we'll chuck a weld down there if we can, just to see how it looks. Might not be the greatest because the camera's in the way. We'll give it a go. These are the same settings as the standard size. So it's a 2.5 milli weld, and so you literally just lay the wire in there. I messed up the first bit. I didn't have it in the seam properly. As you can see there, the rest of it is pretty dab on. What I will say is, it started burning my finger there, because you do get a lot of deflected light. So I guess what you can do is we can just run back over there and see if that will fill it in. Yeah, So there's still a bit at the top there that needs sorting out. Focus, fuck. Still a bit at the top there that needs sorting out. It's really more of a technique thing than a machine thing. It's 100% me that's messing that up. Hello. Using my other hand, so it might be a disaster. Just going to lay that in there. You can hear the weld change when it's not fully melting that. So that's me, that isn't the machine. I didn't have the angle right, so you've got to keep it just at the correct travel path all the way along. And I think what happened there was I had it either too far up or too far back or too far to the side, because you can see the consistency of that bit and the consistency of that bit. And that's the S type, a bit more of a weave on it, as you can see, more of a weave. So really, I think the learning curve is obviously the gun position, travel angle, as you can see there where I've come off the material, and it's gone to one side, and it was the same at the top of that part there as well, and turn it off. Same again on the polished parts where I messed those up because there was too much of a gap. I wasn't pushing the gap down, and I let it wander off. Same there where I let it wander off. So really the key to it is just getting that gun angle right and letting it do its thing. But honestly, for a few minutes of messing around, I don't think you can go too wrong. Laters.